Well, I'm posting another message. No one said I sucked when I did my test video. Thank you for the compliments. Uh, these will probably be a series of 2 or 3 minute reflections, and what I want to share is my perspective on Christianity, why I came to Christ. Now, before you turn this off, uh, I'm not gonna expound on Christian doctrine. I'm not gonna beat you over the head with the Bible and whatnot. I just want to explain why my faith grounds me in life and it anchors me. So if you're still with me, I just want to share a quick story on what my faith means to me. And when I came back to it, I've been all over the spiritual map. I went 10 years without practicing my faith, got into all sorts of dumb things that I'm not going to share with everyone on the internet. But when I came back to my faith, I volunteered as a overnight chaplain at a hospital in Cedar Rapids. And one night, I got a page that comes to the neonatal unit, and whenever you get a page to the neonatal unit, it's usually because a young mother or a mother lost her baby. And I went. It was the middle of the night. There was a young mother there who had just lost her baby, and the nurse was sitting with her. Her husband was out of town and was on his way back. He wasn't there yet though, but they had to go about their duties. And as the chaplain, they just asked if I could sit with her, and I was like, yeah, sure. That's what I do as a chaplain. And so I went in there, and a beautiful young woman. She was from one of the Caribbean islands, had this caramel skin, the skin texture was beautiful, and her accent, if you can imagine it, was kind of a cross between a Jamaican accent and British accent with a little bit of the French accent in there. I'll try not to do the accent. I'll just butcher it. Well, when I came in there, the nurse said, "This is our chaplain, Deacon Derek. He's just going to sit with you until your husband came." And she just kind of looked away, and she was numb, obviously, and she'd just been through hell, and despite that, she had this noble, aristocratic look almost about her. And she didn't even look at me, which wasn't unexpected, and that happens. And I just sat there for a while, introduced myself, and when you're in that situation, you don't force a conversation. You got to be comfortable with silence. And she just, we sat in silence for a while, and I just said, "I'm just going to sit here with you for a while if that's okay." And she didn't say anything. And then finally, it was like she came out of a trance or something, and she said, "What? Why?" And I thought, well, maybe she forgot, that who I was or why I was there. Like, "Oh, I'm the chaplain, overnight chaplain." And she's like, "No, why does this happen to me? This isn't fair. Why did God do this to me?" She just pounded her fist and just almost screamed. And then she started crying, and just kind of bent her shoulder towards me. And all I could say is that, I don't know why this horrible thing has happened to you. And the only thing I can tell you is that I don't think God is up there doing that, deciding who's going to live, who's going to keep their baby, who's going to lose their baby. But the only thing I could say in a situation like that is how much worse it would be, if we didn't have an afterlife, if there wasn't a hope that we would see our lost loved ones again. And I said that in so many words to her, and she was kind of sniffling, gave her a Kleenex, and she seemed to calm down a little bit. And I wanted to get her mind off of things, keep her preoccupied till her husband got there. I said, "Well, tell me, where you're from, and she mentioned the name of the Caribbean island she came from, where she's born and raised. Her husband was a researcher at the University of Iowa, and they just moved to Iowa like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It's like, oh, so what do you think of these cold winters? My God, man, how can you stand this? You people, this is so cold. And and then she just started chuckling a little bit. It's like, yeah, it's cold, but you kind of get used to it. And I said, well, tell me, what are some of your favorite childhood memories? In San Lucas, I think was the island. And she just kind of thought a little bit. She goes, I have this wonderful memory of being on the beach with my father when I was a little girl. My sister and I would always walk on the beach with my dad, and he was a strong man. He would throw us up in the air and catch us and twirl us around, and it was just a beautiful moment. I said, hang on to that moment. Those moments last forever, and I think that's what our heaven is. And we'd laugh, we'd cry together, and she was kind of becoming more alert and whatever you can say in a situation like that. And we laughed some more over some dumb thing and stuff. And then she kind of got kind of quiet, and she goes, "This is the third child I've lost. I'm not going to have any more babies, am I?" And I said, "Probably not. You don't want to sugarcoat it." I said, "Probably not, but you can always adopt. There's lots of kids out there that need homes." And she's like, "Oh, I never thought of that." And then her husband eventually came, and I laughed at that moment. But for me, that's what Christianity is, a God that suffers with us. This is Easter Sunday, and but before Easter Sunday, the resurrection, he had to suffer on the cross. He suffered along with us. He didn't give us a 100% answer of why bad things happen, but he did share in our suffering. And that's why I embrace my faith. It anchors me in this crazy world where there's war, famine, disease, and suffering. The only way I can make sense out of it is a God that loves us so much that he'll suffer along with us. Stay safe and God bless.